in season 1, when she didn't even have much to do. And so many people said, oh, when's Astrid going to get more to do? I'm staying with this show because I want to see what happens with Astrid. And I was like, I don't know, guys. I might get killed. So let's keep our expectations very low. And fortunately, I think that the relationship that John and I have in real life translated on camera a bit. And so this, beautiful connection evolved in the storytelling, and I think that Astrid's first big episode was realized because of her relationship with the doctor in Snakehead, and it was such a lovely way to explore, this burgeoning friendship that they had with each other, and you saw how much heart she had, and it was a really nice thing to have had faith in, because I thought, I can get killed off in my first show. It's okay. There will be other shows. It's not a big deal. And I didn't die. I made it to the 5th season, and it's really...
It's scary.
Wait, what do you mean? It can't be. I mean, this is the fans here. You can't say that stuff online. It's funny because somebody just said that the other day. I mean, people are always surprised when they see me smile. God, you can't go out in the world and tell them yourself. But yeah, people really are surprised because when you're in people's living rooms and week after week, year after year, and it's a particular way, they think you're that guy.
They think that you live in a trench coat.
Well, actually, I'm not in a trench coat that often. But yeah.
Can I just say one quick story about Lance? When we got here, I thought I was going to do my hair different. It was going to be my disguise for Comic-Con. And Lance was wearing a Breaking Bad hat. And he thought that was going to be his disguise for Comic-Con. So I'm walking behind him. He's like, you're just going to think I'm a fan. And so... so we walk into his hotel. People swarm him, and I walk by and I wait to him as I got on the elevator, and I just want him to know that he is the tallest, darkest, handsomest man at Comic-Con.
You know my mother told me to say that.
All right, Josh, you came to us as... Go ahead, Josh. You came to us as like a slightly more grown-up Casey. And over the last 5 seasons, or 5 years, you have proven to be true leading man material. What have you learned about yourself from playing Peter?
About myself, I don't know. I would like to aspire to the nobility that Peter has developed over the course of the 5 years. I mean, I think the sacrifices that he's made for love and for family are on an epic scale. I don't know that I've got that in me quite yet. So I don't know how much I've learned about myself, but I certainly have it has been a great joy, particularly with John, to go from being the son to the father figure back to being the son, and now figuring out how we're going to end this relationship between these two men. I don't know how much I've learned really about anything, but the process has been a pleasure.
All right, and Anna, you came to us as most of us as strangers, and then boom, you will always be our Liv. Always. What would you say the greatest lesson Olivia has taught you?
Oh God, I just do these enormous pauses and I'm just like...
that was just, isn't that so funny? Because you play this character for ages and ages and you hear the name all the time, blah, 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 but when you call me Olive, then my heart melted. It's like being called Annie, like my mom calling me Addie or something. So I must feel attached. I don't know, the biggest lesson, I think it's to come, to tell you the truth. I think it's to come. I feel like I tell you what, that's what we need to teach Olivia to do. She's so good.
Everyone has to verify their age to watch the
I'm sorry.
Expectations for this panel, but even I didn't think it was going to go there.
No, it's not her fault. You guys. Now, you saw me go like this, and you kept doing it. Go on, darling. You tell me.
I don't know. Please, let's move on.
All right, John. I think we'll
How are you
ball
going to
scarecrow.
follow that? I've got you really questions.
No. All right. I like I said, I think we'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow. You have stolen our hearts. You have broken our hearts. You have proven that awards mean nothing. Are you prepared to say goodbye to this family?
No.
You know, they are like a family, and I get sort of cross when anything happens to any of them, and defensive and angry, and so if anyone, so if we lose a cast member or something, I get really fucking angry. On a personal level, there's a shift. Taken all a bit personally, but they have become family, and I don't think you can work with a group of people for 5 years without developing a strong relationship. And we actually do have a very... I get the sense that the group of people I work with would have each other's back. It's true with many things. Even though we may disagree on many things at times, and we do, of course. But I just have a real sense of solidarity. I love that, and I don't think that will go away anyway. Was that the question, or do you want to ask me what I've learned from all that? Well, I've learned to come to work every day. To turn up. It's a golden.
Yeah, you really got my back, John. Yeah, you really got it. Thanks, buddy.
Well, hang about. And Olive.
Oh, yeah. See, you're so bad at it.
What we've learned, hang on. What we've learned, this is a bit stopping, but what we've learned is about the power of love in this story, and the thing that holds Fringe together is the power of love, because it's between all of the characters there is developed genuine love. And I'm sure that's why you guys have followed it through. You know, the love between the father and the son, the love between Peter and Olivia, the wonderful bonds that have existed between these people have to work together, because that's what we associate with. So through all of the science fiction, all the great sort of herbs that we've gone through, it's that love factor that's kept us going, and will give us a brilliant final chapter. You can't hear me. Where are you in the car park? We can't see you.
All right. So speaking of love, Josh and Anna, this couple, we have watched.
Yeah.
We watched these two dance around, flip universes, trade bodies.
Yeah. It's your typical boy meets girl, boy crosses universe, girl goes to other universe, boy sleeps with her doppelganger story.
Girl gets pregnant.
I've told over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. Doppelganger gets pregnant, has baby too fast, baby gets X'd out by interdimensional war, new baby is born, lost to future, finds dad, searching for mom. Story. Yeah. Sorry, am I giving away too much? No, I think we need to raise something pretty good.
But what is really good? Without spoiling anything. Do you know, at least, if these two will get their happily ever after?
Oh, well.
I don't
know. Asked you, Mr. Wyman.
No, you can't give it away.
This will just stay between us, right? I think that these two will get the final chapter of their story.
Nice.
I mean, you know, the fun part of it is, and we're not to just be producery, but the fun part of watching the show and making the show is the process of discovery. This is why, more or less, we always try to stay away from spoiling things, not because we're trying to tease you, but because it's much more fun to watch it week to week. Like, I have speaking of Breaking Bad, one of our DTs from the first season of Fringe is on Breaking Bad. I love that show with like a really probably overly intense passion. Stalker. And I refuse to talk to him during the season or email him because I don't want to know, because I want to be able to discover it for myself. And so I think that story and all of these stories are coming to some version of a conclusion, and frankly, you know, the characters don't end when the show ends, but we'll tell our final chapter of the on-air story, and that's what this season will be. It's our last journey together.
Okay, so going down the panel, starting at Jessica, I want you to give us your favorite scene, but not one of your own.
Does it have to be in Fringe?
Yes. Or the Mighty Ducks.
I don't think I've had that in about 15 years. No, God, 20. Oh my God.
Okay, I have a couple, so I'll be very brief. My first favorite scene is when Walter is at the phone booth and he can't remember the number to get in touch with Peter. That was one of the most touching scenes I've ever seen in television. And then my other favorite scene that I had read and kind of breezed over in the script, and then I saw it on television and I started crying, was when Olivia goes into her house and she realizes that the doppelganger had been washing her clothes, and she realizes that, you know, this woman had taken over her life, and she starts ripping the clothes out of the dryer. And it was so heartbreaking because I'm never going to experience that, obviously, to have someone take over your life that way, but it was just played with such subtlety and beauty. It's such a testament to how talented Anna is as an actress.
We're girls and they put us together, so it rubs off, and that's the way it goes, and that's
Seriously, it's such a gorgeous cast of people, and I've learned so much just watching them.
But that's the bit that TV teaches you. It's not necessarily your characters, that you get to watch these people all the time, and you get to watch them do, you know, like a lot of the procedural stuff, and just on Jessica, one of the, you know, finally, last year, there was like an episode that was completely about Astrid, which we had all been hoping and waiting. And we've been waiting for so long for that. And Jessica comes in with, you know, in her outfit. Jessica comes in and we're all there ready to do it, and the crew is all there, and it was silent. And our set's loud, and it was so silent, and the respect and the care and the love that was given that's the bit, because we get to work together, and watching them do that was just. But not even on screen, watching that in the room was just so special. And we were all there that day. That was one of the most magic moments, I think, we have had, you know, in the last 5 years. And thank you. We had to wait a while, but we got
it. So was that your scene? That was your scene? Oh, okay. It's funny because I actually wasn't there that day. But no. But the reason I say that is because are you talking about? Don't start me crying. Are you talking about the scene when Astrid has the scene with her?
Yeah.
It's actually, but we have been waiting a really long time.
Normally I don't watch, like I didn't watch The Wire until we're in the middle of season 3. I still haven't watched most of my stuff on Oz. I haven't watched my season of Lost. So I haven't watched most of this show, but I watched that episode. And, shit.
Like Barbara Walters.
It's just going down the road. It was actually 2 scenes together, even though they didn't come right after each other. When Astrid has the conversation with herself, and her alternate self asks her if she thinks that her father loves her. And Astrid has already lied to her, except we don't know it yet, and told her that her father's dead. And she said, yeah, I think he did. It's just that he didn't know how. And then you see her in the last scene when she goes in to see her dad, and he asked her how her day was, and because she's gone over, he makes her dinner, right? Yeah, that was my favorite. Those are my favorite scenes. So you can't go off and tell anybody this happened.
A different universe.
I too am sensitive. I loved it when Peter chopped that guy's fingers off. Standalone to me. And I think there was one episode in the first season where Olivia shot 17 men in one scene. What can you say? Look, those scenes they're talking about were some of the most beautiful stuff we've ever done, but I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. You'll do it.
I feel like an abusive father right now. I apologize, I don't have tears for you guys. I actually think, I don't know, it's not a scene, but I think I'm going to go with... I mean, truly, probably most of my favorite scenes would be your scenes, but I'm in a lot of those, and since you can't pick the ones that you're in, I'm going to go with Seth Gable. And I'm not necessarily with a scene, but particularly when he was doing his doppelganger stuff. I mean, all of you guys have done beautiful doppelganger stuff, but the ways that he contrasted his 2 selves, I thought was really, really well thought out and well performed. So I'm going to go with Lincoln and Alt Lincoln, just in general.
What about the scene where the worms came out of the guy's
Yeah, but I'm in it. I can't tell you that. I mean, truly, the grossest thing. Okay, so I can give you 2, but I'm in those scenes. The 2 times I've nearly lost my lunch on Fringe. Let's go with a different bodily function. There's one in the first season where we have a girl's eyeball out of her skull.
Oh, yeah.
And when we were shooting it, because things like that, in a horrible way, become normal when you're on set, you're like, oh yeah, eyeball, no problem. I was doing the thing, and then you watch it on camera, and I was like, oh my god, that's just so foul. It's so incredibly disgusting. And then we did another one, I think the episode's name is Snakehead, where we pull these nematode worms out of people. That was good. And our effects crew is so good that I didn't know we had these poor people who were like half dead in the water, and they were live people that were now half dead, and they built some mock-up bodies, and I didn't realize that this one was a mock-up body, and it had the worm in its mouth, and John just rolls down to it and pulls this like 7-foot worm out of, and I was like, oh, this is Lance was right next to me, and I literally did this, expecting this poor guy to be like,
I remember that day.
Oh my God.
And the times when you thought something was real and it was dummy, and the times you thought something was a dummy and you blinked.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop killing me. What?
I remember a scene, like, scene in the very first season where I had been standing next to this girl. She was lying on a gurney. She's like, and we'd been chatting, so I knew that she was a real person. And I went away to do something, and I came back to go, how are you? And she had an eye out. In a thing, I nearly died and realized they just switched it out really quickly in the minute that I was gone.
These are all very moving moments.
I think we have another video clip from, right? This is completely extraordinary.
So I just want to put that out there because I'm realizing there's going to be an embarrassing moment when we need to say it. Okay, so that's all.
Hashtag incontinent.
That's not going to look good. Yeah. Now you.
Hi everyone. I'm actually down from Canada, from Vancouver, and I go to UBC. And it's been really cool seeing bits of my city and bits of my school in the episodes. I haven't seen you guys yet, but hopefully one day. So my question is, for all of the cast, basically, if you could have gotten any piece of advice on your first day of set, what piece of advice do you wish you could have gotten?
Oh, yeah.
Get a good night's sleep.
At least it wasn't fire your agent.
Or kiss yourself in front of 5,000 people. Say stop, pardon me, I didn't mean to shortchange you. Thanks. Now I'm much less nervous. Thanks for pointing that out. It's much less embarrassing that there's 6,000 people here and I wet myself.
I got make up Wardlow.
I think that I would have loved someone to have said, it's okay, Anna, take a breath, television's fluid. And that's the biggest thing I think I've learned about doing TV is that it flows. And so nothing is set in stone, characters can change, stories can move, and so therefore you can just go with it.
Oh, it's them.
Yeah.
I don't know if any advice could have prepared me for my first day on the set. My first day on the set was when we did the pilot in Toronto, and I'm pretty sure that Jean Nicole was there the first day, and I just met her. It was just really overwhelming, and there was nothing to ready me for what I was about to experience for the next 5 years.
My first day on set, we were in Toronto. It was minus 27. Yeah, I was there with Josh and Anna, and as a scene you might remember from the pilot, I had this great big beard on. And I turned around and I knew you'd come. Speaking of.
Yeah,
I've lost my train of thought.
Honestly, now I feel less bad about wetting my pants.
I didn't know how much fun it would be, to be honest with you. So if someone said, this will be fun, I was thinking, that's pretty good. Have fun. That's like your drama teacher saying you, just have fun. You're kidding me! Go on, man.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for two reasons. One, I don't remember my first day on set. I don't remember what was our first. I remember the read-through, but I don't remember the first scene that I shot.
Was it not on the tarmac?
Oh, was it?
At the airport, it was minus 45.
I think it was more memorable for you because you were out in it.
We shot it in fashion.
No, it's okay. These guys were freezing their little tushies off and what was it, 20 below?
Minus 45. And if you watch that scene of us at the airplane walking towards the airplane, you can see that we just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as the shots get further apart because we just keep putting more and more tracksuit pants under our do you remember? And we had to keep going
Well, the thing about it is, my call was 10 o'clock at night, and so I got there and I got dressed, and then I slept till 5:30, and then they had me come on and greet them, and then I went home. So I wasn't that cold. And as far as advice goes, wow, only because by the time we got Fringe, I'd been doing so much TV. I feel like it was more like by the time we got to episode 4 that I wish somebody would give me advice because I'd never done a network show before, and it was to relax because sometimes the words can change subtly.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Raymond. I've been a longtime fan. For Pacey, what if Coach Bombay had never blown a .08? John Noble, you were just such a genius. Lance, what if they had killed you off and what if they hadn't killed you off and lost? And Anna, I saw that cop sketch of you a couple months ago. You can write me a ticket anytime. Astrid, I love you. I love you. You're so cute.
Not a question.
Is Henry Ian Cusick going to be in future episodes?
Is Henry going to be? I honestly, since we have 13, I just want to say this off the front. There's only 13, so it's the end. Okay? So I'm going to be really, really careful with what I say because I really want, like Josh said earlier, I really want you guys to have the experience, as do all these great actors. They just want you to experience it. You know, it's like saying, I want to open up my presents before Christmas. I'm sure there's an urge to do it, but it's always much better when you wait. So, I mean, let's just say... Henry,
you'll find out soon.
Yeah. Henry was an astounding performer last season. Let's see if he makes his way into the season. I'm sorry, that's all I can say. I'm going to be tight-lipped.
Woo!
Okay, so you guys all did really fantastic jobs playing different variations of the same character. So my question to Josh is, are you jealous?
Well, I didn't make anybody cry today, so a little bit. Yeah, I mean, part of me enjoyed the fact that I didn't have to go through the rigmarole because I saw that the amount of extra work that each one of these players had to put into creating and then performing those characters, and and as I'm sure you can imagine, when they're performing those, they're doing it to blank space and creating the other performance, I would imagine, in their heads as they're going along. So that's not easy. So I have great respect for it. I think it would have been fun. I would have enjoyed doing it at one point, but I was happy with those days off.
You look
Thank you.
Oh, she's right on.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Go ahead. G'day guys, my name's Ro. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. A couple of my aides. Hi. We camped out here last night just to see this panel. Only for the panel. My question is two-parter. Is there any thought about the series continuing on on another format, comic books or webisodes, etc.? And if so, would you guys possibly voice?
Or write?
Yeah.
Well, we have a comic book artist and writer at the table.
Yes, I'd be happy to keep the story on in my own head. It would be very different than what you see for the past 5 seasons. It'd be called The Adventures of Astrid.
I think anything is possible. That if this final season develops as we think it will, and we finish up very successfully, I would think that the film is very possible then.
Of course, it'll be shot on this by us in our trailer.
Well, he's really good now. You should see what I've got here.
I don't know. I mean, they did those Fringe. I got to write one of those Fringe comic books, and that was a ton of fun, which I highly recommend to everybody. So I think there's a good possibility, and like you said, the book that's being put together, I bet there's and in fact, don't discount yourself, because fan fiction is a part of the universe of the show as well. So yeah, I think the show will live on in some form or another. Well, thank you for camping out. I'm sorry.
If there was a superhero called the Fringe, what would he or she look like?
I think we have her.
The Fringe. Then people could carry dressed up as the Fringe.
Of course, now we're getting back into a bad place. We should go away from that all of a sudden.
By the way, Anna and I have read some of that fanfic out there.
Yes, we have.
What?
You guys are scandalous.
Actually managed to find time. We've just been
To shoot something.
very much to shoot like a little.
Do it!
You haven't read it?
No, 50 Shades of Fringe.
Hi, my name is Mike, and you know what? It's okay to get emotional and cry. Anyways, I was going to ask you guys, what's your favorite Walterisms? Oh, that's a good one.
So many.
I think Vagenda still has to be fun.
What do you think?
The Vagenda line is still maybe one of the best neologisms.
Oh, right into her agenda.
Yeah. Although, this could be the theme of our afternoon. Morning.
Wait, I think I got it read on that
You
one.
got that one?
I doubt it's better. But it's from the pilot. When I think you guys you're driving Walter home from, you're driving somewhere. Anyway, Walter says,
on topic.
I think I just pissed myself. Don't worry.
Which clearly runs the family.
Just a squirt. Man, I rewound.
Correct. Yes, that was a fine moment.
That's why he was so excited. He's not the only one. I don't know. I don't think. There's so many, John.
Okay.
Can't choose.
Well, since nobody else can do it. Also, asterisk.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. It's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
And when he finally.
Oh,
I was
Strawberry
so
Fairy
sad.
Death, that was pretty good.
When she gets him back and calls him Wally was a pretty awesome moment. But I love it when he calls her names that don't begin with A. I think they're so funny. Like when he called her Claire one day. That's pretty prize writing right there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This question is for J.H. Wyman. Blair Brown mentioned in TV Comic-Con moment was meeting the female observers last year. That was us. So our question is, are we going to see any actual female observers this year?
That's on you, bro.
I always wanted female observers, and the network said no.
No to win.
No, this is not true. No, this is not true. The truth is, I think that the answer to your question will become apparent this year. There's a reason, and you'll find out the reason.
Thank you.
My name is Ashlyn, and the past 4 years have just been amazing, and I can't wait for the 5th season. My question is for the majority of you. Sorry, Josh. What was your favorite version of your character to portray, and why?
The one I like best is the random water. The kind of the initial one that had no boundaries and really didn't know what was appropriate and what wasn't appropriate. And he was the one that was also so loved his son, so wanted his son back, but he kept saying the wrong thing all the time and his son didn't like him. He was beautiful because he was just random and he was without filters. And in some ways he was the setup for the rest of them, but he was so much fun to play because there was nothing I couldn't do. Nothing.
Off-roads. Because he was so conflicted. I mean, I wish he lived a little longer, third season, but he definitely died with a bang. But really, because he was so, I can't think of any other way to say it except so conflicted. And the scene, I loved playing the scene with my son in fourth season. That was a hard scene to play because you have to get so much intimacy with someone that right away. But the young man playing my son was great. So the scene in the bedroom when I put him in the bed. So yeah, I love playing off roads.
On a day-to-day basis going to work, the days that I was playing Alt Olivia were much more enjoyable because she was just simply lighter. But Olivia is much more satisfying. I mean, like there is just more to her, and I'm excited actually about this season because we did say goodbye to the alternate universe, and I think that my focus can then just go completely back onto Olivia instead of constantly kind of keeping particular characteristics, like in one dimension or the other.
I love both Astrids. I think that Alt Astrid was more of a challenge for me. She was really difficult, and everybody thought she was such a flat character. She has a kind of robotic way of speaking, and you don't get to see her emote very much. And so for 1.5 seasons, people had this idea, of her being this really undynamic character. And then out of nowhere she comes, and she really brings it. And that was such a thrill. It was so difficult. But every day that I would play Alt Astrid, I would go home with a throbbing headache because she would stand so focused at her computer, and so my muscles would clench up and I wouldn't realize it, and I would go home like, oh God, I can't wait till we say goodbye to these people. Because my body couldn't take it anymore. But it really was difficult to say goodbye to the alt universe. Incredibly hard, and specifically saying goodbye to Lincoln. Of course, this is Fringe, and you don't know what will happen. We might get to see him again, but it was like closing a chapter, of our story, and it was pretty tough to do.
What an experience!
Okay, guys.